Well, hello everyone. Welcome to our sixth video on the introduction to coding using an Arduino. I am your host, Afikile. I trust that you will enjoy this video and that you can take part in making this circuit for yourself. So there's other videos, as I said, this is the sixth one. There's other videos which look at the basics of what an Arduino is, and you can see the link perhaps below, or I think it will be going up on your screen at this point in time, where you can see the previous videos that we did. So in this today's video, we are going to look at this circuit. We have what could be a toy car, really, but these are components that we bought on the internet. If you have a toy car at home, this could also work. I mean, anything that has motors within it, this will work. And so what we are going to look at is how to make something similar to this one. So without wasting much time, let me explain what is going to happen. And before I get there, I will also put up an image of how I connected this circuit, because at this point in time, it does look quite frightening if you are new to circuitry. Here we have different components. We have a switch, which switches, well, the circuit on and off. We have a battery pack. We have two 18650 batteries. We have an H bridge, which controls all the wheels. We have then also an Arduino Uno. This is the bootleg version. And then we also have a servo, but we are not going to deal with the servo. It's just glued onto this thing, so I couldn't remove it. We have we have the wheels. We then also have, driving the wheels, we have DC motors. We have 4 DC motors. So essentially what this H bridge is what we are going to use to control our DC motors, our 4 DC motors. And the 2 DC motors on the right side, this is the right side for us, are controlled on this side, and then the 2 DC motors on the left side are controlled on the other side. So we have connected our DC motors here and here and here respectively. We also have connected our battery pack to our H bridge. This is our negative here, so we have connected the negative from our battery pack. We have connected it in, and we have also connected our battery pack to the positive. So this battery we've connected to the 12-volt side. And what I've also done is that I have also connected the negative from our H bridge into our Arduino. And I will connect, you will see there's 12 volts, there's ground, and then there's also 5 volts here. So I've taken this 5 volt and I'm going to power with that 5 volt our Arduino. So I'm connecting it to the 5 volt pin on the Arduino. And on the other side, we have we have 6 cables. Yes, we have 6 cables. Don't mind these 2. We have 6 cables, and essentially these 2 here, we have ENA and ENB at the start and at the end respectively. And in this circuit, ENA and ENB, we are going to use to control the speed of our DC motors. And we also have in 1, in 2, in 3, and then in 4. Those we are going to use to control our DC motors, whether they must go forward or they must go backwards. So if in 1 is high, for instance, if we have high and low from the previous videos, we have high and low. So if in 1 is high, then the motor will go forward. In 2 must be low, because they cannot be both high at the same time, because they will cancel each other. And if in 2, however, is high and in 1 is low, then our wheels will move counterclockwise. In 3 and in 4 are the same. So in 1 and in 2 are controlling, I think, this side, or the right side, and then in3 and in4 are controlling the left side of our DC, the left DC motors, and we've connected in1, in2, in3, in4. We've connected to pin number 2, 3, 4, and 5 respectively, and then in A or E and A we've connected to pin 6, E and B we've connected to pin 7, and so that is how we have done it. We have also a switch, as I said, that is connected to the battery pack, and the battery pack, so you'll see the negative of this battery pack is connected to our switch, and then I've connected the switch to the negative rail of our H bridge. So at this point, this is what our motors are doing. Okay, we switch it on, they go forward. We switch it off, they stop. Switch it on, forward. Switch it off, they stop. So at this point, we are going to look at the code. Oh, sorry, my phone had been paused all along. So if we switch it on and we switch it off, switch it on and switch it off, I wonder how far or how much did you not see if this phone had been off. I trust it was not so much. So let's get down to the code and see how that will happen. So the first thing that we want to do is that we want to initialize we want to create variables. Our variables will basically, we want to put variables for each of these components, except of course for the battery and the switch. We want to tell that we know that, okay, when this one is on, this one must be going forward. When this one is off, it must be going backwards. So what we are going to do is to initialize those variables. And the first variable that we are going to initialize are these pins here. So we are going to allocate these pins space on the Arduino, right? So int in1, I hope this thing doesn't switch off. We're going to say int in1, we are going to say is pin number 2 on the Arduino. Int in2, I'm not going to talk about the variable types. Yeah, so this int, basically an int would be a number in when you code, when you're initializing a variable. If it's a number, you will just say it's an int. So that's why we have int right there. So now that we have initialized our variables, so we are saying int 1, 2, 3, 4, you must be 2, 3, 4, 5 respectively. En A and En B, you must be int 6 and 7 respectively. And so now we want to say pin mode, let me just do this. Let me copy this 6 times. Okay, so we then want to say pin mode in 1, you are going to be an output. You can also do this. Then in 2, you are also an output. We'll do the same for these, for the rest of them. Okay. Finally, we want to write the code which is going to cause our wheels to move either forward or backward. So we are going to start with the right side. So what we are going to do is to say digital write. Okay, so what we want to do, so digital write. So now what we want to do is to say, okay, it must be high. Okay, so let's see what happens. Let's see if we just leave it at digital write equals high. Let's see what happens. Let me connect my let me connect my, let's keep this one on. Let's not keep it on. So what we would do is that you would go to Tools. Now, to make sure that we upload our sketch properly, you will go to Tools, and under Tools you go to Port. You will then choose USB serial. Okay, I think on a Windows machine it works the same. You go to Tools and you choose Port, but on a Windows machine, I think it will say port 1 or port 2, or depending on what the port is. It works similarly. And then you will also go to Board and make sure that you have selected Arduino Uno here if you are using the Arduino Uno. If you are using a different Arduino or microcontroller, you can then choose, make sure that you have chosen that one properly. Otherwise, it's not going to upload. So let's see what happens if we just say digital write by itself. So let's upload the sketch. Okay, so let's switch it on. Okay, my switch is actually very badly connected. Okay, now you see nothing happens. Let's see if we put on the speed, what is going to happen. So let's say analog write for the speed. Let's say ENA. Let's put it at 150. I think it goes up to 255. So now, see, switch. Okay, my switch is very badly wired. Okay, so you see now it goes forward. Now let's see if we had said EN2. See, it goes counterclockwise. So what we then ideally want to do, I must fix the switch. What we want, oh wow, this thing also, it went off. Okay, so if we just write EN2, this thing had been off. Okay, it goes counterclockwise. Okay, so if we say IN1, and we upload that, it goes forward. Okay, so let's see now what we would do. What would happen if you say digital write and we say IN2 and we put it at high also. Okay, now, okay, down uploading. Now it's at high. You see, nothing happens because these are cancelling each other. So if we put this at low and we upload it, let me just keep this. See, now it works. Okay, so one is reverse and one is forward. Okay, if I copy this and I say here IN3 and then IN4 and ENB and upload the code, you will see then they both, all four of them, they go forward. Okay, now if we wanted them to reverse, we would then change this high into low and this high to low. We make this low into a high. If we wanted to increase the speed, let's say 250, let's say 250 also here, and let's put up the speed a bit. See, now it moves a bit faster than before. Okay, we have come to the end of our video. In this video we looked at how to interface 4 DC motors using an 8 bridge, and we coded them using our Arduino. We looked at how we can have forward driving movement or motion, and backward we looked at how we can reverse our car. we said that we initialize our variables here, we prepare our pins here, that we tell these pins that they're going to be an output, and we also looked at how when one pin is high, the other one must be low, and when one is low, the other one must be high, and how changing those values high and low either moves a wheel backwards or forwards. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, and to be alerted when there's new videos, please subscribe to the channel, and whenever there's new videos, you will surely receive them. So thank you, till next time.